Hi everybody, it's Christina from Card Making Magic. Today we're going to make a really special wedding card, and I'm going to make it from the Pretty Book card die set. I'm going to make a box to put it in, and I'm going to use some decoration from this trellis work. Anniversary set, edition set. We'll add a little stamp from the stamp set, but there are also stamps inside this pack, and we're going to use both of these as well. So my colour scheme is going to be navy blue and white, and this is Centura Pearl. So one side of it is pearly and the other side is just plain. I'm also going to match it with some blue ribbon. So let's start with the die cutting. With the largest die and the Centura Pearl, I have cut myself two pieces. So that's my box lid and my box base. And then from this die, I have cut myself a panel and I've flipped it over to the white side. So we've got the Centura Pearl facing down now. And that just alternates the two shades in the box. So that's my box lid. Now from these two panels, which is the patterned one, the detailed one, and the stitched edge, I have cut myself a frame. So I've die cut those two together and I've cut myself a frame. And this time I've cut this with the pearl side facing up. And then using this trellis and a spare piece of white card, I've cut myself another panel. And I've trimmed it down so that this now will fit just underneath that frame. Now from this little die set, I have cut this 5 times. I'm going to keep one on one side for my card, and I've got the others for my box, and I've threaded each one of them with some blue ribbon, and they're going to go down the sides of my box. Now using the flowers from the card set and the edition set, the wedding and anniversary edition set, I've cut some flowers. I've also cut some hearts. So I've used the two largest dies from this heart set, and I've used the pearly side, and I've cut 2 hearts. And then I've cut the flowers and the leaves from green and blue card, and they're going to sit along here. Now what I want to do is accentuate those hearts a little bit more. So with some blue card, I've taken the dies that I've used, which are these two, and with a pencil I have traced around the outside edge. So I've just traced around the outside edge, and then with some scissors I've cut that out, and that now will give me a heart that is just slightly bigger than the die cut one. So that's going to sit there, and I've done the same with the other die, and that will give me a heart that sits there. So those are what I need now for the top of my box lid. And then using the stamps and the die set with the little banner, I have cut myself a sentiment. Now in the pack there are 2 sentiments. One says special day and the other says with love. So you can use whichever you want on the front of your card and save the other one for the card itself. So for the box base, we'll glue all these little tabs and we'll fold them in and glue them down to create the bottom of the box. So once you've done your box base, you can start to fold in your box top. So once you've got your side panels in, you can trim off your ribbon, just a little. Now if you pop this onto your base, you can make sure that it all fits before you glue it in place. So once you've fitted it around your base and you've glued it in place, you'll be certain then that that will fit nice and neatly around your book card. And we'll do the same on the other side. Just tuck the flap in. Don't make it tight because you need to be able to lift it on and off the box, and we'll just add some glue and fasten that in. So there's your lid and your base done. Now once you've done this, you can take these other panels and you can fit these onto the sides so that they marry up with the one that's already on there, and you will need to trim it down just a little bit to fit on that side. So I'm going to trim mine down to that piece. And now we can fit this onto the side, along there, curve it over so that it marries up with the other piece, and that will be all the sides to your box, nice and neatly trimmed to match your card. So with the pattern around the side of your box and your ribbon threaded through it, I'm now going to decorate the top. So I'm going to add this panel in with the white, plain white side facing out. I've got my Centura pearl frame, and I'm going to glue this in place and then trim it off as needed once it's glued in place. And I've also created a back for it, so that's going to sit along there. So once you have this glued in place, just take your scissors and angle them so that they go underneath the frame, and just trim off any bits that are left over, and then you can add this to the front of your card. Sorry, the front of your box. So once we have that stuck in place, we just need to put everything else onto the box lid now. So we'll just add in the leaves around here, and I'm using the mixture of green and the pearlescent white. And I'm going to pop these along the bottom, and then onto the top of this we'll add the flowers. And again, I've used a mixture of the navy blue and the pearlescent white with a little bit of pale lilac in the flowers for this and the actual book. So I'm going to glue those in place and then finish those flower centres off with little blue pearls. Now for this card we're going to create a real card for it to stand on. So we're going to take the largest die. I've folded a piece of A4 card in half. I'm going to place the die along the bottom and try and centralise it, and the top must be off the card. Now once you've run that through your die cutting machine, that will give you a card that's still joined but that will stand now in tenfold, and these pages then will all fit on the front of that base. So let's get busy and put this card together. So the first thing we're going to do is add some curve to our pages, and all I'm doing is just wrapping it around a little jar, and that just puts some curve into the pages. So again, just wrap your card around. Now there is a little die in the kit, in the pack, that will help you to score down the middle of your card, and that is these three. So you've got one for the largest page, one for the middle and one for the smallest, and all you're going to do is just pop this into the centre of this card. Now do it before you curl it, obviously, and that will just put a score line in there, which makes it easier for you to fold. Now with the filigree panel and its backing, I have cut this again in white, and I've kept the Centura pearl to the top, and that's going to sit on the smallest page of my book card. And again, using the flowers, I have created some flowers that will sit on the front of my book card. I've also created some leaves, and I've done the same thing with the hearts as I did for the box lid. Now with the other panel, with the other strip of this, I'm going to add this to the centre of my page. So now with all my pieces cut and I've glued my layered hearts together, I've curved all my panels around my jar, and they're all ready now to add to the card. The leaves, the pages to the book are all curved as well, but in my stash I have found some voiles. So just to make this a little more special, I have used the same dies and I have cut some more pages from the voile that will just add a little bit more glamour to this book card. So they're going to sit all fastened together, all glued together down the centre spine, and then I'm going to wrap this around all the pages. Now with these pages all glued together, I've just raised the pages up a little bit and bent them so that they've got a nice curve in them. And then I'm going to add these on each side of the centre spine along there. So now while the book pages are flat, I'm going to add in the other decorations to the front of my card. And with this I'm going to use some foam pads and some glue just to make sure that they are well and truly stuck down. So with the front of the card decorated, and I've used the stamp set from the Little Editions set for weddings and anniversaries, I'm now going to decorate the inside of the main card, and I've taken the stamp set from this stamp set, which is the Pretty Books Verses and Sentiments, and that's going to sit in there. I'm going to decorate this with some leaves, and I'm going to layer up the flower to add to the centre of the card. So that will go in along there. And then just to finish off the centres of these pearls, these cards, I've added little blue pearls into the flowers. So I'm going to pop this one into the middle of there and add a blue pearl into the centre. So now all that's left to do is to attach this to the base card, and I'm just going to glue it down the centre and add it to the card. And then once it's fastened in place, I'm going to put some glue just along the edges and fasten that to the base as well, so it still has the curve in the book pages. So there we have our completed wedding card in a beautiful box that's all decorated, and the book card itself will stand on a mantel shelf for your recipient to look at on their special day. I'll add some photographs at the end to show you how that card will stand. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please join me on the next one, and why not subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, then you'll always be aware when I add a new video. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.